We welcome you to the video series, Foundations of Materia Medica, Volume 1. These lectures will be given to you by Roger Morrison, Jonathan Shore, and myself. They are taken directly from lectures that have been given to our students in our 4-year professional course. This lecture series is on basic materia medica. We will include Calcarea carbonica, Pulsatilla, Natrium muriaticum, phosphorus, sulfur, aurum, lachesis, graphites, nux vomica, sepia, apis, lacaninum, the baritas, ignatia, lycopodium, the magnesias, thuya, serinum, and arsenicum. In this series, we will give you a foundation of understanding of these remedy pictures, an in-depth study of the mental and emotional states, a study of the main physical characteristics and conditions, and their modalities, as well as the general symptoms and basic rubrics of each remedy. We hope you enjoy this series. We are very proud of it, and we welcome you to the family of homeopaths.
Pulsatilla, when we see the pulsatilla flower, we have this feeling of something pretty, of something delicate. This remedy is called the wind flower also. The anemone flower, the animose flower, has to do with wind because it especially opens up during the wind. Most of the time it will stay closed, but when the wind blows, the flower opens up or blooms during the wind. So, of course, when is pulsatilla feel the best? In the wind or in a breeze? You see? So how the plant feels in its natural environment is how the person will feel that needs that plant as their central remedy. So pulsatilla is the remedy that needs open air more than any other remedy in our materia medica. The other thing about the wind flower, I said it's a delicate looking stem, but very tough fibrous roots. So how does this flower, how does it survive in nature? Here's the strong wind coming. What does it have to do? It has to bend in the wind. It has to bend in the wind in order to survive. So therefore, this remedy is the most yielding of all of the materia medica. It's the substance, it's the patient who yields before a strong force, and then when the force goes away, it springs back to its original posture. So you could say that its survival technique is when there's a strong force, I bend with it, and when the force goes away, I come back to my natural state. And this is exactly the way that the patient will act. When they're around a strong person or a strong group, religious group, spiritual group, political group, they'll bend and they'll adapt to what the nature is of the strong force. And then when that person goes away, then they come back to their original posture. And that's why we see this idea of yielding. Another part of the mythology in this plant, the anima, it's an anemone. So the anima, the spirit, the anima. So when we talk about an anima for man, we talk about his female, the inner woman, the female half of his soul, right? That's Jung's concept. So what does a man do? They project their female soul onto the woman, and then what happens? They become very disappointed if she's not like what they project onto her, right? The man becomes very disappointed in the woman if she's not everything that he projects onto her, which is usually what? Feminine, soft, yielding, all these things that pulsatilla is, that they want them to be. And think of the poor woman, right? What does she have to do in order to live up to this complex? She has to become pulsatilla. She has to adapt to what his ideas are in order to live inside this force. So she becomes a pulsatilla in order to be an anima. She becomes an anemone in order to be an anemone. Right? This is the situation for pulsatilla. George Vathulkas he described as the central theme of this remedy